Just test 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 test toast test. Hello. So okay, so we have 4 people, at least for now. Hello, everyone. Hello. So let me see if I can monitor my stuff myself. All right, chat. Do we have anyone there? Is there anyone? Let me see. Hello. Hello. Okay, so I need to figure out, should be turn off echo, should be stream. So let me also tweet about this, because today I also trying to do 4K. I don't know if you noticed. Just give me 1 second. And we are live. Chuk. And let me see if I can see 4K. As a reminder, 4K only available in Google Chrome and Firefox. So if you're using those, you should be fine. If you're using something else, like I use Safari, and Safari is not something that works. Okay. And we are in 4K. Let me see if a Twitter will allow me to tweet this picture. Okay, copy. Okie dokie. Good vibes, thank you. That's amazing. All right. Let me tweet about this just a little quick. So let me add a live streams. And yeah, so I think important thing that I trying to figure out what's the name of the show needs to be. I was calling this live streams because I was doing live streaming, but it's too subtle. Like, it's difficult to track. For example, if I create a hashtag and after that I'll try to see if anyone responded to the show, every time I find some bunch of weird stuff. All right, so, and I'll do tweet. You can also go and retweet. I will just post it here, and that just copy link. All right. So what I see right now, just 5 people just joined. Looking good for everyone. Like, if you don't have 4K, you're not obligated to use. So let me also turn on a monitor. Yeah, and let me kill this guy. So looking good. So let me. Yeah, I think I'm good to go. So again, thank you so much for those of you who joined. We are doing this small show together. I'm mostly talking, and sometimes I typing some of the things. So let me grab a pencil. You know what? This pencil was behind me. So I was just having fun, trying to learn some stuff, trying to teach you some stuff, because usually I don't have a. You know what? So let's do proper intro. Hello and welcome to this episode of live streams. Name subject to change. So if you have good ideas, please share. Don't hesitate. So what are we doing here? So this is a channel where we're talking about stream processing, Kafka streams, a little bit about technologies that surround this. For those of you who don't know, my name is Viktor, and I work as a developer advocate at a company called Confluent, and we do all things around Kafka and Kafka streams, stream processing, KSQL, Kubernetes, and like DevOps, and like some awesome stuff. I don't know if you know. And in the purpose of the show, I learning things, you learning things, we're doing something together. So today I'm gonna be doing a couple things. So in the previous episodes, we start talking about the test containers, how we can use it to test on the Kafka applications. Today we're gonna be continue to talking about this. We talk a little bit about testing Kafka streams. You know, just testing Kafka streams. I'll share everywhere I go, so the people will join. We'll see a couple of things today. So I wanna look into the differences between things that we learned last time. Last time we talked about topology test driver, which is more or less standard tool that comes with Kafka streams that allows you to write kind of unit tests. It's light, it doesn't require Kafka, it doesn't require whole infrastructure. And today I would like to start with the kind of introduction to the places where topology test driver is not very suitable. I think it's a good start with like a new section of the show. Let's start about some of the news, probably, yeah, right? Some of the news from my side. So first of all, if you're fan of this thing called blog at Confluent, so if you go here, you'll find very good, not hub, sorry, blog. So you will find very good article from one of the members of core team, Kafka Streams, when she's actually breaking down the rebalance protocol. So Kafka consumer rebalance protocol. How does it work? What's the different strategies, how to implement this, how this protocol was evolved over the time, and what specifically, since Kafka streams a lot, depends on Kafka consumers, and the protocol might cause certain issue for certain people. Sometimes, there's different strategy how to implement. Specifically, one of the things that Sophie is talking about is implementation of this the special assigner that consumers will use in order to assign particular partitions. So this thing is new thing. You can use this in your Kafka application. So there is a cooperative assigner. So it's a very good article. I would highly recommend this. We'll just send this to you folks, so you know what we're talking about. And for those of you who just joined us, now you know that we're talking about this blog post from Confluent blog. So this is where we are. So next thing is next thing from the news. Since we switched to, like I mean like the community and like everyone in the world, we switch to more like the remote way of thinking. We just started a place where you can find all possible meetups. So if you go to events.confluent.io, you will get this place. So first of all, it's a good thing to find a meetup community that is around you. So this is where you can find like your location. So your location, say, in my location, North America. Let's do, I don't know, New York. And nothing. It's okay. Let's see what do we have here. So North America, no results, topic. Let's do, no, just let's start over. Like, okay. You can always sign up for email notification, but this is something that I want to share with my people in this chat. So in this stream. So essentially, one of the things that you want to join for next event is going to be happening 14th. Unfortunately, time zone is terrible. You know, the May 14th, and it's going to be like 5 p.m. Central Time, which is going to be 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and probably it's going to be dark night in some other places in the world. But this is very good talk. Obviously, it will be recorded, but also John, he's one of the members of the core Kafka Streams team, so you probably want to learn some of the things around the rebalancing protocol and things. The cool thing that will definitely many people will appreciate is support of interactive queries now not blocked if there's rebalances happening. For those of you who don't know, like interactive queries is ability to query a state of particular state store and expose it through some sort of like REST API. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do a few episodes in the future about this. And essentially, when the rebalancing happens, usually those stores are not available simply because the metadata exchange comes with some metadata about remote location of the certain shards. This information comes with some of the metadata update. So the team, Kafka Streams team, they sort of decide, okay, so we will kind of like ease some of the consistency requirements in order to provide better availability. So even though some of the things will not be able to have a like latest and greatest information during rebalance, but at least you will be able to source some of the data. So this is one of the things that John will be talking about. So this is going to be a pretty cool meetup, and definitely follow along if you would be interested again to get notified about all these meetups. You can learn here. It's pretty cool. Again, this is Events Hub, Meetup Hub. Okay, so today. The third thing that is kind of news, partially news. One of the friends of the show and friend of mine and Ivan Ponomarev, he did a lot of talks around Kafka Streams in Russian community. He come up with a very cool project. So let me switch. We will take a look on this one today. So because it's 100% related to the topic of our conversation. I don't remember the off the top of my head. And yes, Kafka streams test Pitfall. Obviously, I forked it, so it's called Kafka streams testing Pitfalls. It has a lot of interesting things. So he explored the idea that okay, so where we can use topology test driver, and after that, this topology test drivers actually will fail or like show you like false positive response. So let's take a look in the code. Let me fire up my IDE a little quick. So recently, I'm start getting some of the issues with my favorite IDE tool, and let me go here, and I'll try to, if I go File, Open. Just give me a sec. I will switch to another screen so I can pull up this project. So recently what happened, and some of you have seen this in other open as a project. Let's see if it fail or if it don't. Okay, cool. And let's see if topology. Okay. Let's see if we will be able to run this. Okay, sweet. Now we can do that. Okay. Awesome sauce. And yeah, I was experimenting some of the stuff. Let's see. All right. Now, so I think the way how the research started. Constantly, hydrate myself with some steam-free energy. In this particular case, a little bit of caffeine in some of the juice. Cheers. Yeah, this show is bring your own booze. So if you have something to drink, please join me by drinking this. Now, he was looking to way how to implement, find a distinct. Where's the topology? How to find distinct messages in the stream in a very easy way. So there's a ways how you can do. You can obviously right way would be store it somewhere. In case this particular case, it can be some state store, and inside this state store, you will be able to write a custom processor. We'll talk about this a little bit. And in the custom transformer, you have access to this state store. So, and after that, you will be able to check like if you've seen something like that. So you will be able to extract something by key and compare the value. This is how you find the distinct things. So he also implemented kind of like a naive way. It kind of sort of might look like it will serve the purpose of this exercise, and like a topology test will pass and might confirm his logic. Like comparing to the things that I did last time, I actually showed you that my application actually works fine, but topology test show me that it is not, or I thought it works fine. But based on the test and based on the expectation that I was putting there, it was not right. So, and he implemented two versions. So this version, one version uses kind of a naive way. He does the grouping, reducing to again. This is kind of like he definitely trying to make this like incorrect. So and make sure that the test will be executed. And the right way to do is obviously to implement the transformer and the way how you can do this. Speaking which, in order to implement and learn how to implement correct things, you can do. I just created a small. We have this tutorial called defining distinct events. So this is where you can learn how you can do this with Kafka Stream. This is the right and correct approach how you can do this. And so in this particular case, you will go and learn how you can do it with Kafka Streams and much simpler with KSQL DB. So it's this is how you can implement this type of stuff in using KSQL DB. So it's just like for context setting. So if you're interested to do this kind of stuff. Now, so we're switching back to our application. So let's see what exactly is implemented here. Topology test and a couple other tests. So when we need to test the, let's start with this one because it's kind of one of the things that usually people will ask. So Kafka has this thing called embedded Kafka. Yes, embedded Kafka is basically the same code that runs actual Kafka, but it has some limitation. There's no, it's kind of in-process thing. It runs inside your application. There's only one node that you can try. And usually, like many frameworks, specifically Spring Boot, in this particular case, use embedded Kafka. And it's a good support, like it works out of the box, nice and such. So the problem is that, I don't know, I was trying to actually find some problems. And it looks like it is problem in people's mind. So sometimes, in my mind, why embedded Kafka is not ideal choice? Because it feels like it's like a half-baked hacking solution. So it's not real Kafka, but it's not mock of the Kafka. It's like doing testing of your application against in-memory database and run in production in Oracle. So this is type of stuff. This is the mentality that I have and the problems that I have with embedded Kafka. Like if you have some other problems, write in comments below. Like it's like comments there, but like I see on the screen. If you're using embedded Kafka today, just like let me know why you like it or why you don't like it. Plus, for those of you who love Scala, it uses Scala a lot. I don't. Well, we have a like sophisticated and complex relationship with Scala, so I would not like to have it in my ClassPass. But hey, it's me. So, and yeah, but like it works. It's out of the box. So works in. You see, there's a even annotation in Spring Boot that allows you to do this. So. Let's see if I will be able to run this. So what it will start, run some of the output. So run this thing. So this one should potentially fail, and write this thing should not potentially fail. Let's see what it does. Plus, you see, there's so many output. Okay, so nothing is here. Nothing is here, so it also failed. Let's see why it failed. Okay, so, okay, so let me see. Okay, so first rule of testing. So it's Ivan. It's Viktor. You're not using some like ABB stuff. We're using the right people. And the second rule here, you not talking about or like using some fake data without having Matthias there. So we have Ivan, Viktor, and Matthias here. So let's see if we will fix this. But essentially, this is the. Let me rerun fail test. We will definitely look into Spring integration with all these Kafka things in one of the next episodes, maybe the next one. Today we're going to be finishing with the... Okay, so what is happening? Like Viktor, is it something that I put extra? So it's probably something is not right. Vic, because different Viktor. Yeah, this is where fat fingers. Remember last time, so what happened last time? I was like too much of the keyboard ninja and I press some of the buttons and voila, I closed the stream. So was not fun. All right, so let's see. Okay. See if it still fails. Okay, still fails. Let's see what is this time. Maybe I'm wrong. Ivan, Viktor, Matthias. We expect. Apparently the order is also matters. So also, let's get back to our base test. Let's see. We just make sure that it's the correct one. It's the correct one. And we're expecting here, we're expecting Ivan. We're expecting this the Matthias fella. And this Viktor fella. All right, so Viktor, okay, let's rerun this again. Ordering actually might be the thing where like the problem is actually happening. So I'm assuming it's kind of similar, but they're not, because some of the messages arrive to this consumer faster. Or like Ivan, if you know this, you can write this down. Essentially, so it's kind of sort of like as expected, but not entirely as expected. So the next thing is, let's take a look with containers. Again, the super easy to do with Spring, and recently the test container, Spring get the test container support, so which is also pretty cool. And we're going to be using the same base test. Like base test looks like this one. So what we do here, we go into put this inside the Kafka, and we want to get this result of this record. This is what we're expecting, right? Test. Okay. Haha. Yeah, that's some sorting. Let's see if it's feeds the ball. Where's my run? Yep. So it's running. Take some time. Failed for obvious reasons. Let's start this without sorting. Sorting is it's messing around with us. Okay, and yeah, thanks for all your comments in this stream. Okay. Wrong distinct. So wrong distinct should, yeah. So this is what we expected, which is correct behavior, and right distinct, something is not right. But at least we have some similar data. Actually, I think the sorting was a right thing to have. It's what we expect. Where's the write this down? Let's keep this. Okay. That should do. Also uses old Kafka. Now, so this is a pretty cool experiment. If you want to play around yourself, come on, just give me green light. I'm looking for some positive reinforcement. Okay, something is not right. So similar thing, Ivan, Matthias. So you know how to fix this? Easy. We do this. This is how we test. This is how we're fixing the broken tests. Actually not, but you know. Stop me here. Yeah, how the people. This is what I did. This is how we fix and test, right? So we, you know, we make sure that it's green. The first one is wrong one, and the second one, come on, give us green. Yes, green. Awesome. So this is how we fix and test, guys and ladies, if you are here. So the find a ways how we can fix this. Anyway, so it's pretty cool stuff. I will get back to this project next time because I like the Spring integration, and I will use this as an example. Now let's do something actually useful, hopefully. So it's a sum of the samples. So there is a project that you can, if you go to GitHub, you can find a bunch of stuff here, but there is one project that I want to take. Kafka-streams-examples. So, oh, sorry, it's Freud. Switch back to remove this from stream. Now, so this is a very good project. So if you want to start learning some of the Kafka Streams ways, this is pretty cool stuff. And it's maintained by Kafka Streams team. Those examples actually might have something useful. But here's the problem with those examples. Created developers for developers. So if you try to learn something, you already need to have some background to do this. So that's why we created this more like a narrative-based the way how you learn things. So by narrative-based, I mean there's actual text that explains what you're doing, so you can follow along. Here you will just give like there's something that you can use, just use it. So what we will try to do right now, we'll try to remove this guy. So we'll try to remove this embedded. Let's try, first of all, let's try to run it. Let's see if this test actually works. I think this is the topology that uses, it uses keys a day and uses specific hours a day. So it's some topology which is, well, let's fix. So where's this topology? This is a configuration and degradation taste details. So let's see if I haven't done this before. So I haven't done this before. Just this idea came into my mind right before before today's stream. So I was thinking, okay, let me find like small enough test that I can run through or like convert. So Kafka Streams Builder. Where's the builder? Where's my configuration? So my configuration essentially read the input topic and write this output topic. It's like very simple. So in this case, it just only shows how we can use specific survey. Let's fix this. It bothers me a lot. So abstract Kafka survey config. It says deprecated. Deprecated. Okay, and what to use? It doesn't say. Okay. This is one of the things that the people were actually, were not super. Let me see if I can download sources. So source is not available because it uses our third day. So in this case, what I need to do here is to go and attach sources from our serializer, and I think this is the right thing to do. And okay, Kafka our serializer. So we need to go to okay, I know where is it. Okay, so if so go to Confluent. This is where's all my sources and my scheme registry. And scheme registry should have Avro survey project. Okay, let's see if it will be able to find the sources here. Okay, import. No, was not able to find. Oh, okay, I know how to find this. Maybe it's a Kafka. Okay, Confluent Kafka serializer, choose sources. So in this case, Confluent Kafka Avro. So it's maybe for Kafka. So in this case, yeah, it should be part of the scheme registry. So let's see if we actually have this. So mine, Java, IO, Confluent, Kafka streams. Okay, it's a streams. We don't need. It's a survey. But what actual a serializer? JSON serializer, schema serializer, Avro converter, data. Yeah, Avro serializer. I think this is our guy. This is our guy. Yep. Okay, this is our guy. So what it says, it deprecated. I need to use abstract Kafka schema survey config. I guess there was some of the useful stuff. Okay, so I just don't like when it just like here. Okay, cool. Now and we'll also remove it here. So the abstract Kafka survey config versus abstract Kafka schema survey. Maybe it makes sense. All right. So couple things. So what I see, what it does create topics. Create topic, which is it actually doing something? It should be using some of the like condition stuff, and it's part of this. So here's the problem that I have of this type of scenario. So apart from the being, it requires you to know the framework rather than just, okay, so I know that Kafka is running somewhere and I want to use like admin API. In this particular case, to create topics for my tests, I need to go and do this. I think you can possibly do, because end up, let's actually drill down and see what they end up doing here. Test utils, topic creation condition. Something interesting. So, okay, so interesting. So this guy is actually going in the check if the topic was created by using Zookeeper client, which is also embedded Zookeeper client. So, which is also not the right thing to do, because we were taught that admin API is the right thing to do, right? Even though it's kind of like embedded and for testing. But hey, as long as you're putting your stuff in in the publicly accessible jars, people are gonna use it. People are gonna be using this, and the people will enjoy using this. So in this case, I don't like that at all, because admin client. Let's go and see Kafka docs. We'll go into kafka.apache.org, because I'm pretty sure that our admin API has ability to check if topic was created successfully. So where is it? Documentation. There's API. Where's the API? API. Documentation. Documentation. And admin. And Java doc. So if I will, like, if you know someone in the chat, you know, feel free to, you know, if you know how to do this faster, let me know. Create admin. We have this. Now, create topic result. We do have a created topic result. So if we will create topic, we will get a create topic result. If topic already exists, I think that we should get something like, there should be something like topic config is our collection of topics. I think, oh. So I think either get topic. So where is it? Create list partition assignment topic. Get topics, maybe. Get topics. Get list topics. Okay, list topics. So list topics will give you list topic result, which will gives us, what's the list topic options? Can we create some sort of like a predicate should list internal timeouts? No, it's just like if you want to see like internal like underscore topics versus, okay, and list topic results and collection topic listings, names. So names, we get a list of topics. If topic was created, meaning that all good, right? Or not. This is actually a very good point that we were having a conversation with Ivan about like checking this condition because of this like asynchronous nature of Kafka thing. And like this is why we need to put a bunch of like timeouts and things like that around. So I don't know, like But yeah, future, you will get the result. If topic was not there while you're waiting, but you expecting this to be, it's interesting situation where we get into. But again, I think using public APIs versus using this like Zookeeper fella, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Okay. Now, what we are doing next. So next thing is that let's bring this Kafka container. So Kafka container that from the TestContainers, right? So in this case, yep. So I do have an example ready, potentially, if I do have it. Where's my project that I already have this one? I thought I have it handy. Okay, let's see if IDEA will be able to open this one. So we will be using this guy instead of this guy. So we don't need this. We create this Kafka container. Second thing that we're not gonna be using these ones. So essentially what we can do is essentially admin. Create. So now we should have properties handy somewhere. And those properties are over here. So we just need to, okay, so interesting. So we'll fix that. For the properties, only thing that for config we need is Bootstrap server essentially, because we're not doing any, so let's do this one. So we'll do new properties, properties, prop, let's call it war. So we will do some stuff, properties, we will put properties dot put, and in this case, streams config, like admin config, admin client config, there is a Bootstrap servers config, and before class. So first of all, we didn't start Kafka. So Kafka dot start. This is where we're gonna be. This is gonna be blocked. So we'll have this up and running. So next thing that we will be using this to Kafka get Bootstrap servers, and next thing is that we're creating these properties. Now we have an admin client. And admin client create topics. Create topics. We will do arrays as as we have an input topic and output topic. So what it says, create topic should work, no? So it has a what collection? Okay. Okay, so we're doing this new topic. New topic, new topic, and input topic. Next thing I think it's going to be partitions. Number of partition and replication factor, which is 1, and replication factor, short, no, it's kind of 1, and after that we need to do it short. I never understood this. So it's going to be var input t. And the second thing is that we just like, as we do, right? Right, developers, this is what we do, right? We just like a copy and pasting some stuff. All right. Output topic, okay. And output. And in this case, we'll do input, output, something like this. So this is how we create our topics, right? So we should be able to do this right. Okay. Next, we created topics. Next thing. Now we don't have a cluster. Now, in this case, we do Kafka get bootstrap servers. Next thing, we don't have a scheme registry, which is interesting. So essentially, this embedded cluster also supports scheme registries. There's a couple of things how we can do that. So in my example, app row, producer, and consumer, there is a schema registry container that you can use. And this schema registry container is actually a real schema registry, and I'll do stuff like schema registry with Kafka. In this case, we'll use Kafka, my container. So, and after that, I can do start. Next, this is where we do thing schema registry URL. So I'll do schema registry, get target. I don't like this API. I need to, rewrite this and make it like get schema registry URL, right? So in this case, it would be quite all right to use. Now, okay, so this is where another thing that I might be don't liking, but hey, abstract. Replacing this. And those, it's a little bit verbose, in my opinion. If you want to ask my opinion, if you like, few people here still here, and probably you are interested in my opinion. Get bootstrap servers. So I don't like this repeating stuff. So what I like about topology test driver is essentially how the API feels. From perspective of I testing this thing, I want to get topic, and just the pasting configuration that will handle this stuff. So the concept, I really like the concept of it, in the way how the API look like. Can it be like implemented with test containers? Probably, but in this case, maybe it not would be 100% fit in this one. Simply because with test containers, with topology test driver, you can have like a synchronous request response because there's nothing is asynchronous running there. Topology test driver has everything. So once the topology is created, you just put there. I didn't draw this today, so let's do some drawing, right? So let's do this. So there is a difference between how we can use, like, say, topology test driver and the test containers. So with topology test driver, you have like topology test driver, and you send there your topology and your data, right? And it internally materializes it, but it doesn't run this in the Kafka. So response, so when I do like create out topic, plus when I do the read output, I'm getting this like immediately because everything is here and it's like everything happens here, so single threaded. With test containers, it's actually real Kafka, right? It's real Kafka in real schema registry. So this is how we will draw our schema registry. looks like it. You can always look the how it's called, the thing that you put in the front of YouTube page. Now, and this is your topology and data. So you actually sending this stuff into real Kafka, and everything they sync here, right? So every time when you need to validate, you need to either implement or like not implement. What's the word I'm looking for? Like emulate synchronous behavior, like by introducing some of the sleeps and like wait for result for some time, or increase the number of entries that you consume all the time. So this is the problem happening here. This is like this is how to make this asynchronous. If you have any ideas, like write in the comments, and like I will elaborate this next time. So yeah, I got carried away a little bit, but let's get back to the thing. So, okay. So we do have some interesting integration test utils, and there is a method that's called produce values synchronously, meaning that how it works. Collection produce key values synchronously. Let's see how it looks like. Synchronously. Okay. Okay. So the way how it works, collection of items, put them into collection of producer records, and after that, just simply waiting on this future, which is, I know some people who might have opinions about this. Yeah, it's not how software like that serving like millions of people and million developers using, it should not be doing in 2020. So that's why it's kind of feels a little bit on 2000s, right? All right. So, but like, okay, it's for a test. Now, and this is what I was talking about, where we need to, where is it? So we can go in here within Kafka and get bootstrap servers. And in this case, I'll do get schema registry URL or something like that, right? So it's going to be target doesn't mean a thing. So without reading documentation or looking to code, it doesn't really clear what it does. And like, let me replace this fella here. Now, wait until mean values record received. Topic, output topic, input value size. Okay, let's take a look. How does it work here? Boom, 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 boom. So, okay, while true, read values, accumulation data, and after that, yeah, this is what I told you, like there would be sleep somewhere. So, yeah, so I fixed some of the compilation errors. Let's see if we still, if we fix everything. Schema registry, get target. I'll just, just use it. I will deprecate this. Stay tuned. The schema registry, get target. Yeah, I will fix that. Now, and the last but not least, I was doing some of the Kotlin recently, and I guess this is what kind of habit you will get once you will keep forgetting this stuff. Okay, will it work? Let's see. Will it work? hopefully. So again, so what we did, we replaced this embedded Kafka. We got rid of some nasty APIs that will use internal Zookeeper client that communicates with this internal Zookeeper client. We use right now actual software, and let's see if our test will execute stuff that we expect it to execute. Since like my computer right now is streaming 4K directly to your browser, if you're enjoying this 4K, put the likes in the comments. If you're watching this in the 4K, and yes, it's true 4K. I do have a 4K monitor, and right now the streaming from the 4K monitor. For those of you haters, don't believe that I have a 4K. Of course I do 4K. And so this is why the running all this stuff on my computer. It's a pretty big laptop. It's a pretty beefy configuration. If you wanna check this out. Yes, we failed some tests. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, it's a pretty big computer and still struggling to execute some tests. Let's see what did we miss here in terms of like a test. Why our test failed right now? I believe it's something. Okay, expected 1 but received before 30 milliseconds. That's interesting because why is that? So does it didn't it start in time or whatnot? So let's see. Wait until mean values record received. Is there any way how I can increase time? Interesting. Let's see if this integration default timeout. Okay, integration utils. If I will be able to do, let's see. Expected number of records, default timeout. Okay, so I can do, and what kind of, it uses 30 large, what is that? Is it what, milliseconds? Milliseconds means 30 seconds. Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's do, say, let's wait until minute, right? 1000. Okay, minute. Okay, let's rerun this while I'm reading some of the comments. Okay, so thank you so much for Sergey Yegorov. He's one of the maintainers of TestContainers. He just brought me some of the interesting insights. So why not to use embedded Kafka versus TestContainers? So essentially, when you run the embedded Kafka, you don't have any control over throttling of the resources. Since TestContainers runs in containers, it depends on how much CPUs you allow them to execute. So in this particular case, yay, we have a green test. Never trust your test if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it failed. So in my particular case, we've seen this, which is good. Now, so essentially, when you're configuring your Docker, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So where's my Docker thingy? Oh, I know. It's my computer also runs like embedded Kubernetes, which is a cool thing. So let me switch. Okay. So I can bring this guy here. So currently my Docker uses only 2 CPUs, but if I want to run something faster, I can increase number of CPUs. So essentially, technically, I can configure this. Another cool thing with Docker and the TestContainers, let's read all the comments from Sergey. So yes, one of the things that he pointed out is it brings Scala. Shout out for my Scala lovers users here. If you trying to execute this embedded Kafka as your testing frameworks in the places where you don't have a officially supported JDK, and also because there's like certain Java versions that are available and officially supported by Kafka team. So there are some cases where embedded Kafka won't work on recent Java, which is kind of ridiculous because if you're testing your application and you should not depend on the version Java potentially, if you're not, or like you should not wait until it will support this. And sometimes it fails to clean things up. So there's multiple things, unpleasant things. Now, as you can see, successfully executing thing. We run this, increase timeout a little bit, which is something that I think we need to, as a community, hopefully, if someone will have a very good idea on where's my screen? I'm just looking. Yeah, if anyone has any idea how to make this like a much more nicer without like this stupid weight type of things. Plus, you probably will be 100% sure that this code that you're executing, this topology that you execute, is actually will work with your real application. So there's a huge point. So as a home exercise, I'll try to fix some of those tests, bring some of the interesting tests in my own project. So I can bragging about stuff that I did. I'm not this, not the smartest person in the room, but I know a few people who I can ask. So I started doing this like small project with a scheme registry and some other components of Confluent platform. So the cool thing about here, I'm also collecting some of the corner cases that people facing while testing Kafka, while testing a Confluent platform. So I put them as test cases in my application. So I'll give you an example. So there was a issue opened in GitHub that let me find this. Like if you go to TestContainers, we will go to GitHub. It was like a couple months ago. So we go into GitHub, open issues, and I'm looking for, say, transaction. Maybe it's closed already. And should we put, say, Kafka? Kafka. Or like something was like a Kafka timeout. I will take a look because I don't remember what exact issue, like the name of the issue, but essentially the idea was there was a gentleman, he was trying to test the transactional producer and consumer, and what he noticed that his application was hanging, and after that they failed with stuff. The first mistake there, unfortunately I didn't put the reference. Sometimes it's very easy to find. I will put the reference here, or like I will share this in show note if you're interested to learn about this. So first thing, that he didn't use proper log consumer. So when you run the test and you see there's some stuff is going on, and or you don't see, the most importantly, you don't see any stuff going on, meaning that maybe there's something is going on, but you don't getting output. So I like to use SLF4J in my applications, and I also like to use the container output and output this into SLA for JLog. So this is where I use this like SLA for JConsumer. So I will see everything in my output because guess what? I already have a logger configured here, right? Now, another thing was that, so this was quickly, once we enable this and try to execute this piece of code, this stuff, we start seeing that there were some errors in regards to internal topic inside the Kafka. So in order to capture some of these transaction things, there's internal log, transactional log topic that created. There's some defaults that prevent this from running this. So there's a Apache Kafka there's Apache Kafka wiki where we can find that some of defaults, specifically transactional state replication factor 3. So the broker starts, failed to create this topic. The code was waiting, and test container code was waiting to return the successful, how it's called, like a liveness probe or something like that. It didn't happen. So it just like bounced it and said, hey, I cannot just like get access to Kafka. So what the test containers allowed me to do, I'm configuring this as a real software. I was just like looking what kind of environment variables there that I need to configure, and I will just use this. So this is why I like to put this here, since it allows me to do like corner cases. Some of the things that where people were asking, okay, so Viktor, we would like to develop it's cool that we can use the Confluent Cloud for development. However, yeah, we need to pay for development environment because like we're going to be using this. So like, is it possible to do something to emulate this kind of situation? This is where the containers comes handy, because only thing that the Confluent Cloud gives you is just a Bootstrap server, specific URL for Bootstrap server, and your authorization, like a SASL plane, the credentials that you need to provide. Same thing with the schema registry. So I'm thinking that this next thing that I need to add to test containers, to my test containers model, so you will be able to kind of like spin up the Confluent Cloud flavored Kafka, so you can develop locally, and after that just change configuration and your application will be running. I'm accepting some ideas around this, pull requests, my Twitter. Speaking which, let me, for those of you who don't know, I don't know, like if you don't, where is it? It's my Twitter. Feel free to add me there. Whoop, 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 whoop. You can find me in Twitter. We can chat about the things. For today, I think we're going to be stopping here. So let me do a quick recap for you, so we would know where we stopped this time. And also, I will put this into how I can do this. Control N, okay, not N. How I can create a new Scratch file. So the Scratch file, just a text. So first of all, we got some of the awesome news from the community. Thanks, Ivan, for this project. If you want to, send me your project and like some interesting things that you want me to talk about, I can definitely do this. This is Kafka-Streams Pitfalls. Shout out to Ivan for this project. Second thing that, again, we got back to the point where the way how you can implement distinct events using Kafka streams, since we're talking about streams, not the KSQL yet. Find distinct events, events. So yeah, just check this out. Kafka tutorials is awesome. Next, the thing that we talk about today is like embedded Kafka versus test containers. Okay, okay, so okay, test containers, and we talk a little bit about this small project. Again, I'm open for interesting features, and let's see some questions. I do see some questions. Why do you prefer having static methods for test utils? I mean developers. I don't know. Like that's just okay. So let me bring this on broadcast. Sevalet, welcome to live streams. So why do you prefer static method for test utils? I don't know. Like the class, how it's called? Class rule is also works. Class rule works for creating some of the things before running tests. I don't know. Like developers, write the comments below. Why do you prefer static methods for test utils? So Alexander, for waiting stuff, there's existing library called Awaitify. Oh, nice. Okay, so I think I will check this, and this will work. So question: can we write tests for transactions in Kafka? Yes, sir. Precisely, you can. This is exactly what I was talking about. So this is again, it's integration test. It's not unit test. Again, we're running actual Kafka. We're using we're using producer, and this is how I run this. This is my init transaction, begin transaction, and the send the message and commit transaction. This is how I let me just put this here. This is pretty much it. So the cool thing, again, with test containers, it's not necessarily you need to test with these limited functionalities, in this case, like one node. I can even create the multiple nodes, specifically like the test containers, even though I know that some people don't like this approach with Docker Compose. With Docker Compose, you can actually implement any type of system that you want to test against. So in this case, I can run with default configuration, but 3 Kafka brokers. So in this case, I can create topic with replication factor 3. So yeah, that's the stuff. All right, so thank you for the questions. Yes, thank you. Good stream. Yes, thank you so much for being with us at the live streams or streaming things. How you think? Like, leave some of the comments for me in the comments section for this video. If you have any ideas or suggestions, how I should call it. Should I call it live streams? Yeah, but like, hey, streams. And remind me next time, I do have some news about T-shirts. Some people asking me about the T-shirts, plus the Kafka Streams one in the style of Stranger Things. I do have some news about this, and next time I probably will share some of the links where you folks can order this. And all the sales that comes from these 2 shorts will go to support this channel, support the hardware, support internet, so I can stream with 4K. And for today, I think we will part. And thank you so much for being with live streams. Stay awesome, stay tuned, and as always, have a nice day.